Alright guys, Tom here and welcome to a new video, and today I'm doing a review of WWE Monday Night Raw for the 21st of October 2013 episode of WWE Monday Night Raw, which came from the Memphis 10SC, and to be honest, I thought it was absolutely terrible show from the FedEx Forum Arena in Memphis, Tennessee, hometown of Jerry the King Lawler. But this Monday Night Raw, of course, was the last Monday Night Raw before the Hell in a Cell 2013 pay-per-view, live on pay-per-view this Sunday, which will all be covered on my channel. Predictions, everything like that, predictions, live reactions, reviews, previews, everything like that. So subscribe for that in the top left hand corner. But also, we're doing a review today, guys. Go check my preview of Monday Night Raw, see if I got anything right, because honestly, if it ran like I previewed it in my Monday Night Raw preview show, I thought we could have had a really good show on our hands. But sadly, everything went to pot and it was just absolutely terrible. Everything was just pear-shaped on tonight's Monday Night Raw. I just don't know what was happening. I thought it was one of the shittest Raws I've ever watched. I skipped over most of the matches because I don't watch it live when I'm not on holiday. I'm on holiday next week, so I will be reviewing it like an hour after the show, as well as Hell in a Cell. But I usually watch it when I get home at 4 o'clock, so it's nearly 24 hours after the show. Well, not 24 hours, like 15 hours. So I just skipped over all the bullshit and the matches, and it ended up like I skipped all of it except the end segment, but I still did manage to catch a few glimpses of what actually happens. So I'm going to review it in this show, but I just felt everything they did was just completely wrong, and it just didn't tell a decent story, or it was just a waste of time to fill that 3-hour slot. It was just complete bullshit. So we started off with Big Show and Stephanie McMahon in the middle of the ring, working on that heelish character ready for the pay-per-view, making the fans think, are they actually going to do anything at the Hell in a Cell? Making Triple H start Monday Night Raw, makes the fans still, it emphasizes that Triple H and Stephanie McMahon are the ones in power, and they might have something to do with some of the matches at Hell in a Cell. I mean, if you started off with Daniel Bryan in the ring, it would make it look as if Triple H doesn't really have as much power as he does, but making the authority of Triple H and Stephanie McMahon start the show looking confident, looking in control, makes it seem as if they are the people in power and they might have something to do with any of the matches at Hell in a Cell, and they're in control, they know exactly what they're doing. Fans don't like this because they're the people that are in power, so it brings over that heelish character for both Stephanie McMahon and Triple H. But the thing, it just didn't seem like they were actually saying something positive. It just didn't seem like they actually had something for the fans to listen to. It just didn't seem like they actually had a script. They just came out and started talking rubbish about things we already knew about, how Daniel Bryan isn't an A+ student, how Big Show knocked out Brad Maddox on SmackDown, how he knocked out Triple H 2 weeks ago, and how he's filed a lawsuit. It just didn't look like they actually had anything to say. It was just like they were refreshing our memory from something we already had in our memory. It just didn't look like they really had anything to say. The only thing that they got out of this was to carry the storyline on from Big Show and Triple H, and to show Triple H and Stephanie McMahon is still in control and worked on that heelish character, which they've already put over quite well already. I honestly didn't really see any success coming from this, but we did in fact get Big Show talking over a live satellite feed. Yes, live satellite feed done by the WWE on Monday Night Raw. It was all professionally done, where Big Show was on the Titantron. It had the logo in the top left hand corner. There was no bullshit about this. There was no unprofessionalism about Big Show's talking to the WWE Universe. It was just ridiculous. I mean, you had Big Show talking on the mic, live satellite feed, as if it was just set up by WWE. How are we supposed to believe this? Big Show's fired, yet they still managed to set up this live feed for Big Show to talk about how he's filing a lawsuit against Triple H. It just felt just not natural. I don't understand. I mean, Big Show's a guy who managed to break into Monday Night Raw twice now, yet he's appearing on a live feed set up by probably Hunter or Vince McMahon, and we're supposed to believe that by accident one of the people in the backroom staff managed to capture Big Show live and he's talking to Triple H. It just doesn't seem legit. I just don't know what they were doing. Yet again, Big Show literally did not say anything. They just wanted to keep this Triple H and Big Show feud rolling over past Hell in a Cell, because we all know past the pay-per-view, feuds can easily get forgotten. This big feud could easily get washed away thanks to some big matches at Hell in a Cell. You've got the Del Rio and Cena feud. You've got the feud, of course, between Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton. You've now got the Goldust Shield and Uso feud. This feud between Big Show and Triple H could easily get forgotten. So having a big blockbuster thing to remember on this Monday Night Raw helps it roll over to next Monday Night Raw, where they can carry on this feud. But honestly, I don't think it was a good way to do that. It just didn't seem legit. It just didn't seem well organized. It just didn't seem like they'd planned it out. It wasn't legit. It was just a lame segment which didn't look believable. It just really didn't know where they were heading. They just wanted to keep this feud relevant. I just thought it was a really bad promo. So for that, I honestly just going to give it a 5 out of 10. It was completely pointless, just to fill a little bit of time. And they really weren't doing anything. You just had Big Show live on satellite, which wasn't legit anyway. And they just didn't really get a message across. I mean, the only thing that came from this was an excuse for Daniel Bryan to come out and build a contrast between the face character and the heel character of Daniel Bryan, because Daniel Bryan came out, he got a good reaction from the crowd, and it was in contrast to Triple H, who got really big boos. And that just set up the match between Daniel Bryan and Dean Ambrose, which came next. But for me, this promo was absolutely pointless. It just really didn't show anything. It was pointless, and it just didn't feel natural. But for me, 5 out of 10, absolutely bogus, terrible promo. So the next match was Daniel Bryan defeating the US champion Dean Ambrose. How many more times are we going to see Daniel Bryan face the United States champion or one of the members of the Shield? I mean, since Daniel Bryan lost the since the Shield came to power at Survivor Series, actually came to the roster, it's always been Kane or Daniel Bryan versus the Shield in some way or form. And honestly, it's boring. WWE fans can get bored easily. Wrestling fans can get bored with similar feuds. And honestly, we've nearly seen these guys go head to head in some way or form for the last 12 months. And it seems like every single Monday Night Raw, in some shape or form, we're going to see Daniel Bryan facing the Shield some way. I'd be counting the odds ones out where we haven't seen Daniel Bryan face one member of the Shield. It's not original. It's not unique. It doesn't do anything for either of them. The only positive thing that comes out of this is Dean Ambrose is still appearing as relevant because he's still facing a main eventer of Daniel Bryan. He's still he's still keeping relevant. He's still in this main event feud between Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton, which pushes Dean Ambrose up the card. But honestly, we've seen this all before. I wish they'd think of some unique ideas to fit the Shield into this feud in the main event, or bring some new guys in to this feud. Maybe we could get a CM Punk in this feud when he finally closes off the feud with Ryback and Paul Heyman. Maybe we could get a Rob Van Dam or something like that to refresh this main event feud between Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton, because the Shield aren't really cutting it for me. We see the same thing every week where they beat up Daniel Bryan or face Daniel Bryan in a match, and Daniel Bryan always comes out the winner. The fans were into this match whatsoever. It was a lame match. It just didn't really do anything storytelling wise. It was really just a match to fill that first match slot, which is usually a good match, but this match was boring. It was lame. The crowd were into it. Daniel Bryan won with the no lock, which ended up being reversed from a Dean Ambrose move on a mat move by Dean Ambrose, which was reversed from Daniel Bryan. No uniqueness in the ending either. It was just a match which we've seen 1,000 times, which wasn't great for the first match you want on Monday Night Raw. You want a refreshing new blockbuster feud to start on Monday Night Raw, a good, exciting, long match. But this was everything that it wasn't, except the fact that it was a long match. So it was just pointless, boring. It just, the only goodness that came out of it was Dean Ambrose is still getting that slight push. But the fans were into this match whatsoever. It was lame, it was boring, didn't give anything new to fans. Why should we buy the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view when we weren't getting any refreshing new content on Monday Night Raw, which is a free show? So for that match, I'd give it a 5 out of 10 yet again. As you can see, a similar trend for Monday Night Raw review tonight, guys. Very, very boring Monday Night Raw. An absolute piss take. I can't believe I even watched this bullshit at the moment. But CM Punk yet again addresses Paul Heyman and Ryback. Some more regurgitated rubbish. I mean, We started off the show with Big Show and Triple H refreshing what we already knew. You started off with Daniel Bryan in another match against one member of the Shield, Dean Ambrose, and now we have CM Punk making another boring promo about Paul Heyman, as if us fans actually care about CM Punk getting his hands on Paul Heyman. We were bored with this feud after the Brock Lesnar match. I thought the Brock Lesnar match was fucking awesome. I'm a mark for both CM Punk and Brock Lesnar, but ever since then they've struggled to end this feud. So what CM Punk cleverly did here was emphasised the Hell in a Cell, emphasised how it was usually the ending of all feuds. It's been the ending of Undertaker and Triple H's feud, it was the ending of Foley and Taker's feud, and it was the ending of Foley and Triple H's feud. So here CM Punk was emphasising that the Hell in a Cell structure is always the ending, the pinnacle of all feuds, which was good because hopefully at Hell in a Cell, it's the ending of this Heyman and CM Punk feud. It's getting you ready to end this feud, emphasising for when CM Punk does probably win, that's the end of the feud. We don't have to think about that ever again, and it ends it. So it makes the fans excited for the feud, ready to see CM Punk finally defeat Paul Heyman and Ryback. Finally, it makes it climatic, it makes you excited. It just builds some anticipation for the match where you might finally see CM Punk win over on Paul Heyman and Ryback and finally end that feud. So he emphasised the structure, he emphasised how this will be the last match, and hopefully when we see CM Punk win over Paul Heyman, that it's the last match and that's the end of it. So they were clever in that respect, but it's not. It's what we've already seen. Paul Heyman and CM Punk doing a boring promo. I thought it was quite unique how CM Punk stood on the entrance ramp instead of going in the ring. I think every promo we've seen between CM Punk has always been in the ring. Making him stand on the arena kind of added a little bit of uniqueness, if you know what I'm saying. I think it just added a little bit more edge to it rather than making him come to the ring and doing the same old promo like anybody else does. Having him stand on the arena ramp kind of added a little bit of uniqueness to it, but at the end of the day, the promo was boring. It's what we've already seen. It's what we've already heard about Paul Heyman and CM Punk. The WWE still think we want to see CM Punk get his hands on Paul Heyman. We don't, surprisingly. So it was just some regurgitated bullshit about the match. I liked how they emphasised that it'll be the last match. Well, it should be the last match between CM Punk and Paul Heyman, which was great. So built some anticipation for Hell in a Cell on Sunday. So I did like that. I'll give it a 6/7 out of 10. So the next bit was Santino Marella defeating Heath Slater. Yet again, we had insulting our intelligence from Santino Marella just to fill a little bit of more time. Two jobbers facing each other. Absolutely awful. Do not even waste your time on that match. I'm not even going to waste my time reviewing that bullshit because it just didn't mean anything whatsoever. Yeah, Santino Marella dressing up as Elvis Santino Marella facing off against Heath Slater. Just some bullshit that we've probably seen down the line a few months ago. Just doesn't really mean anything, just to fill some time. It's supposed to be the going home show for Hell in a Cell when you have this regurgitated bullshit which we've probably seen months in advance. Nothing new here. Complete garbage. Not funny whatsoever. A waste of time. Are we actually supposed to... Is it supposed to make us buy Hell in a Cell with this rubbish? No idea. 3 out of 10 for that. Well, actually, a 4 out of 10 for what Bret the Hitman Hart would say. We'd give it a 4 out of 10 because I just want to be a twat. But Randy Orton defeated Dolph Ziggler in a match I personally thought went on for way too long. This match went on for a ridiculous amount of time. A typical Randy Orton match which went on for way too long. Had too many headlocks in this match. They really tried to put Randy Orton's heelish character over here so that when he steps in the ring with Daniel Bryan, it's a lot more exciting. But honestly, I thought Randy Orton could do a lot more in this match. I don't really think he did anything that... I think he could have done a lot more to put over his heelish character. I think you've got a big face of Dolph Ziggler facing Randy Orton. I don't think Randy Orton played the heelish character as well as he could have against Dolph Ziggler. But at the end of the day, it was just to waste a little bit of time, make Randy Orton relevant, get him in a match where he's actually doing something on WWE so that he can build that match at Hell in a Cell. But at the end of the day, Randy Orton won, built some momentum for that match at Hell in a Cell. But the match itself was really, really lame. It was really boring. Sadly, Dolph Ziggler gets that jobber match, but it does slightly give a push to Dolph Ziggler, facing a main eventer of Randy Orton. And at the end of the day, it was an RKO out of nowhere, so Dolph Ziggler wasn't really beaten at the end of the day. It was a cheap victory for Randy Orton. So that's all the positives I could give from that match. It was only really to give a little bit more relevance to Randy Orton. Slight push for Dolph Ziggler as well, but at the end of the day, just to give a bit more relevance to Randy Orton and keep him on WWE TV, ready for that match at Hell in a Cell. So for that match, 4 out of 10. Another boring segment or match. Too many headlocks. The match went on for too long. Didn't really tell much of a story, really. I think you could have put over Randy Orton's heelish character a lot more. And Dolph Ziggler jobbed yet again. I mean, they could do so much more with this guy. Anyway, the Bella Twins defeated Tamina Snuka and AJ Lee. I've said it yet again. I don't see what they see in Tamina Snuka. But at the end of this match, Brie Bella did in fact pin AJ Lee after an attempt of a roll-up pin by AJ Lee. And then Brie Bella managed to it's kind of like a headlock slam on AJ Lee to win the match. I quite like the ending to this match. I thought it was pretty good. It was pretty climatic, but the rest of the match was pretty boring. It didn't really show anything to us what we've not already seen between the Bella Twins, Tamina Snuka and AJ Lee. I don't really see what they see in Tamina Snuka. I don't really know what she adds to the persona of AJ Lee. But at the end of the day, this was kind of just an excuse to add a match between AJ Lee and Brie Bella. And man, this ending was pretty good. I thought how Brie Bella did in fact pin AJ Lee sets it up for Hell in a Cell, and maybe we could see Brie Bella take the title from AJ Lee. I think if Brie Bella was going to take that title from AJ Lee, it would add a little bit more freshness to the Divas division. I think AJ Lee holding that title for so long just makes it a little bit boring. I think if Brie Bella was going to win that title, it adds a little bit more excitement to the Divas division, shows that the Total Divas are slightly more relevant, and I think Brie Bella deserves slightly that Divas title. I think she's done some decent matches in the last few months, and I think if she was going to hold that title, I think it'd build a good feud between AJ Lee and Brie Bella. I think they could do something with that. I think they've got 4 weeks to build for Survivor Series. Give that strap for Brie Bella for a month and see what good promos, what good matches they can build between AJ Lee and Brie Bella. Yeah, I think give the title to Brie Bella. I think she could do something well. I think they did. I think they held the title well, the Bella Twins, a couple of years ago. And I think if Brie Bella was going to win this championship and Daniel Bryan was going to win it, I think that would be good storytelling wise. I'd like to see that, to be honest. So it'll be interesting to see what they do on Sunday night. Are they actually going to Are they going to risk giving the title to Brie Bella? Are they going to try and add a little bit more excitement to the Divas division, or could it plummet even more? To be honest, I think they should risk it and give it to Brie Bella, see what she can do with the Divas title, make AJ Lee chase the title, and it could make hopefully he can make AJ Lee do some more heelish persona, pull off a more heelish persona of AJ Lee. I don't think she's really done a lot in the last few months. Maybe her losing the title could make her do some more heelish things. I'm not really sure. But for that match, 6 out of 10. The ending was pretty good. It's funny how I gave the Divas match a more rating than the Randy Orton and Dolph Ziggler match. Anyway, the Wyatt family did defeat The Miz and Kofi Kingston, building that matchup between The Miz, of course, against the Wyatt family. And I do think Bray Wyatt will face The Miz at Hell in a Cell. They'll probably get that announced on Friday Night SmackDown. I will read the taping results tonight and give you a video of the main event results and Friday Night SmackDown. So, the Wyatt family did defeat The Miz and Kofi Kingston in an okay match. I did like the finish of this match with a clobbering clothesline by both the Wyatts, actually. I think they managed to get the pinfall on Kofi Kingston. Yes, I don't really care about this match. It was absolutely garbage. But Bray Wyatt did a pretty good promo after the match, to be honest, setting up that match between The Miz and Bray Wyatt. I'm surprised Bray Wyatt didn't actually get in the ring and do some moves. Is he still injured? That would maybe suggest why they haven't announced this match. Maybe it won't even happen. I wouldn't be surprised if Bray Wyatt was still injured. But that match was completely rubbish. I don't really care about that match, to be honest. I can't even give a fuck about this Raw. It was so bad. Anyway, Big E Langston versus the Intercontinental Champion Curtis Axel never happened. I like this match because it really put over Big E Langston quite well. You had Big E Langston take on both Ryback and Curtis Axel in a brawl. I think it's good for turning Big E Langston face. I think he needed something. I think he didn't really recover from breaking up with AJ Lee. They didn't really know what to do with him, so bringing him back and making him turn his face makes him have the opportunity to get some more momentum, get the fans behind him, make him a little bit more exciting. I think he worked well as a face in NXT. Bring that 5 count back, and I think you've got a good gimmick on your hands for Big E Langston. But I liked how Big E Langston pretty much managed to survive against some big guys, Curtis Axel, Mr. Perfect Son, and Ryback, who was an absolute beast. I mean, he managed to survive against these two guys until CM Punk came out. So that really put over Big E Langston really, really well. Until CM Punk came out, I think Big E Langston coped very, very well. And after that, when CM Punk came out and he was 2-on-2, they made Vicky Guerrero made a match where it was Curtis Axel and Big E Langston against... Sorry, Curtis Axel and Ryback against Big E Langston and CM Punk. And CM Punk and Big E Langston did in fact defeat... Yes, they did in fact defeat Curtis Axel and Ryback. The guys who you're supposed to be building up for Hell in a Cell. You should be building up Ryback ready for that Hell in a Cell match against CM Punk, where it's actually believable CM Punk might actually lose to the Beast Ryback. But Big E Langston did actually get the pinfall here, building Big E Langston up. Hopefully that gives him a little bit of momentum to carry on into Hell in a Cell, where he does in fact face Curtis Axel. I think it'd be great if Big E Langston does actually defeat Curtis Axel, but I liked how they gave the win to Big E Langston. He got the pinfall over Curtis Axel, which does actually prove that he could actually defeat Curtis Axel at Hell in a Cell, build some momentum, build some uncertainty over the Intercontinental Championship. And I did like how they played Big E Langston's music after the match. You also had the camera work all on Big E Langston to portray Big E Langston as the bigger character over CM Punk. I think it really pushed Big E Langston in this segment rather than CM Punk, who was just a guy in the background. I think it was all on Big E Langston. The spotlight was on Big E Langston. They gave the pinfall to Big E Langston. He managed to survive over Curtis Axel and Ryback, and the camera work was all over Big E Langston. The music was of Big E Langston, so it really portrayed Big E Langston well. It was a good push for Ryback in this segment. Put it over Big E Langston really, really well. He got some good maneuvers. He played well in the match. Didn't really watch a lot of the match, to be honest, but it was all about Big E Langston gaining a little bit more momentum in this match. It wasn't really about CM Punk, to be honest. I think they've all done all the build they can towards this match, and we all know it's going to be the end at Hell in a Cell. So it was only really about Curtis Axel and Big E Langston in this match, and I thought they did really, really well of building Big E Langston up. The next match is the Real Americans defeating Tons of Funk. Sorry, if I was going to give a rating of the CM Punk and Big E Langston match, I'd probably give that a 7 out of 10. I thought it was good for Big E Langston building that dude up. Real Americans defeating Tons of Funk. We've already seen this for the last 2 weeks, so I give that a 3 out of 10. The Usos versus The Shield went to a no contest. Basically, this is a match for the #1 contendership for the tag team titles at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. You had Goldust and Cody Rhodes out on commentary, and the Usos facing the Shield in the ring, which went on for way too long. This was ridiculous how long this went on for. I think it went on for about 15 minutes. And honestly, the in-ring action wasn't great. It was just the commentary which was most entertaining with Goldust and Cody. And they honestly weren't great either. But it ended in a no contest after all 3 of the tag teams got involved. So it does look like it is confirmed that we're going to get the Usos facing the Shield, facing Goldust and Cody Rhodes at Hell in a Cell. Honestly, the Usos look very, very out of place in this match. I think they've only really added the Usos to this match because the last few matches we've had between the Shield and Goldust and Cody Rhodes hasn't really been as exciting as the match at Battleground, where there was a lot on the line. I don't think the crowd have really been into it when you've had Goldust, Cody Rhodes and Daniel Bryan face the Shield. It hasn't been as exciting as the Battleground match. So I think adding the Usos to this mix adds a little bit more exciting. But any clever fan, I guess, say with any brain cell, can tell that the Usos aren't coming out of this match. It's only really going to be between the Usos and the Shield. It's only going to be between the Shield, Goldust, and Cody Rhodes. The Usos aren't really relevant in this match. I mean, the only positive I can see about this match is the Usos are kind of being given a good main event match, where the Shield are getting a good main event push. So are Cody Rhodes and Goldust. So adding the Usos to this match does actually give the Usos a slight main event push. But the only reason why they're in this match is because they did give the #1 contendership to the Usos a few months ago. And when the Shield lost their titles, they still needed to rectify that the Usos were still #1 contenders, so they played it off as the Shield getting some kind of advantage by Triple H, some bullshit, but whatever. The Usos are in this match at the Hell in a Cell match. I can't honestly see them doing any good in this match. It's just to play off the fact that they're still the #1 contenders and just get their match. They're not going to do anything. It kind of gives them a main event spot to the Usos, but nothing's really going to happen. So the last match was Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton signing a contract for the Hell in a Cell match. I mean, what really happened in this was absolutely rubbish. I mean, the whole of the Raw was absolutely rubbish. I can't believe I'm even reviewing this bullshit, even though I didn't really review Monday Night Raw last week, which is okay. But Big Show came in with a truck into Monday Night Raw. Yes, he came in driving a truck, which had no relevance whatsoever. I mean, wait, is that a truck? What's a truck got to do with anything? But he basically drives a truck into Monday Night Raw Arena, the FedEx Forum Arena. Then Randy Orton turns around and gives him the kick that defeated Cena. Are they actually going to give it a name, or is it just going to be the kick that defeated Cena? So Daniel Bryan stands tall. This builds anticipation for Monday Night, for the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, because obviously we've had 2 bad endings to pay-per-views so far. We've had the Battleground ending, which is awful, which ended in Big Show knocking out both Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan. And for Night of Champions, you had Daniel Bryan getting stripped of the championship. So I think Daniel Bryan ending Monday Night Raw tonight was a good move, because it obviously shows that Daniel Bryan's got the biggest momentum over anybody. It's going to bring him some more buy rates, because they're ready to see Daniel Bryan legitimately win the WWE Championship. They were stressing the whole way through Monday Night Raw that there's going to be a guaranteed new WWE Champion. So having Daniel Bryan ending the last segment was pretty clever. I think having Daniel Bryan stand tall builds the anticipation for Hell in a Cell. Makes you think, well, maybe it's a very big possibility that Daniel Bryan's going to win. That ends Monday Night Hell in a Cell as the WWE Champion, because we're guaranteed a new WWE Champion, and Daniel Bryan looks to be the strongest competitor over Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan. So Daniel Bryan is likely to win. So I think that was good. I think that was good for the babyface to come out on top for the last Monday Night Raw before Hell in a Cell. But honestly, the contract signing, the promos were pretty lame. It was kind of a bit of a stare down with Triple H and HBK, where he was questioning whether he was the right man for the referee job. And Daniel Bryan was kind of favoured by Shawn Michaels, which does add that kind of uncertainty, for me anyway, that Randy Orton might get the favoritism in the end. I'm not really sure. Could Shawn Michaels get bought over by Triple H and end up favouring Randy Orton, where there's a bit of a swerve in there? I'm not particularly sure. I think it leaves it really open for Hell in a Cell. I think Shawn Michaels favouring the babyface so much that it was just getting shoved down your throats that it wouldn't be a surprise that you have a swerve where Randy Orton is helped by Shawn Michaels. But honestly, I think they really should have a clean victory in that match, a clean win for Daniel Bryan in that match. But I don't know. I don't really understand why they'd add Shawn Michaels in that match and make him favour Daniel Bryan so much for it just to end in a clean victory for Daniel Bryan. So it does add that uncertainty for Daniel Bryan. But that's my review, guys. I'm not really excited for Hell in a Cell thanks to this terrible Monday Night Raw. I'm going to give this Monday Night Raw a 3 out of 10. Holy shit, he's gone for it. A 3 out of 10 for Monday Night Raw. I thought it was absolutely terrible. I'm not even kidding. Post in your comments what you thought. I'm actually pissed off how bad this Monday Night Raw was. I was excited for Hell in a Cell. I thought you've got a good card going in at Hell in a Cell. Let me just read off the card that we've got so far for WWE Hell in a Cell. There it is. So you've got Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. You've got John Cena versus Alberto Del Rio for the World Heavyweight title. You've got CM Punk versus Ryback and Paul Heyman in a Hell in a Cell match. You've got the Cody Rhodes and Goldust versus Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins versus the Usos. They are some pretty good matches. Yeah, Monday Night Raw didn't really show that. It was all about the main event and Big Show. It wasn't about any of the other matches. It was just dead. It just was dead. It was like they needed to fill that Monday Night Raw, get this Monday Night Raw out of the way, we'll do Hell in a Cell, yada, yada, yada. It just felt like this Monday Night Raw was an inconvenience. It felt like, we know people are going to buy it. Let's just do a shit show. It doesn't really matter. Which I thought was an absolute joke, because this show was absolutely terrible. Hopefully you enjoy this video, guys, because I did not enjoy Monday Night Raw. I thought it was absolutely garbage. Sorry for this terrible review, because there wasn't really a lot to say about Rant. So 3 out of 10 for that Monday Night Raw tonight, guys. I really hope Monday Night Raw gets at least a 4 out of 10. So hopefully you did enjoy this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Take care, spite your hair. Leave your comments, your predictions, anything like that for WWE Raw and Hell in a Cell. Thanks for watching. Take care, spite your hair. Have a good day. Goodbye.